Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, hello. Today I'd like to do an IT presentation about Bomberman. Alright, but before we get started, I'd like to do a self-introduction first. So, my name is Huda Umar Batam. I'm currently residing in Bekasi as a 13-year-old. So, I'm currently interested in design, aka multimedia. I'm also interested in other things such as game and website development. Alright, so let's get to the game. So, what's Bomberman? Well, Bomberman is a game where you drop off bombs and wait for them to explode and then hit the enemy. So basically, in a simple concept, so your character has bombs and your character drops them off, and then when they drop them off, the bombs explode, and if there's a nearby enemy and the bomb hits the enemy, they'll die. So basically, if they die, our score increases by 1. But instead, if the enemy catches us or touch us, they'll kill us instantly and we lose immediately. And when we've killed at least 3 enemies, we'll win. And in my game, that's basically the simple version of it. And in my game, we use planes as the character and the enemies. The enemies are called bandits. So there's 2 kinds of bandits, and each of them has a pair. So there's 2 of them. So there's 2 versions. There's 2 bandit 1s and 2 bandit 2s. And in my game, we play as a German World War II dive bomber, famously known as the Stuka. And also, for the bandits, aka the enemies, we have the P-51 Mustang, an American World War II fighter plane. And for the second version of the bandit, we have the British Spitfire, another legendary World War II plane. And our plane drops off an actual bomb. So the bomb that it used in World War II, so we used the exact bomb. Alright, so let's get another step forward. So I've explained the game. Now let's see the sprites that we use. So in total, there's about 6 sprites that we use. We have the game logo, which you'll see later on in the title screen. And as I mentioned before, there's 3 planes. So this is our player, the Stuka, and this is the P-51, aka the Bandit 1, and this is the Spitfire, aka the Bandit V2. This is our bomb. It's called the SD-70 bomb, and we have the explosion, of course. So how this works is we got the bomb, and then in costumes we got the explosion chain, and then we got another explosion chain without the bomb. So when the bomb explodes, it switches costumes, right? So it switches to the explosion chain, and then another explosion chain will appear, and the other explosion chain that doesn't have the bomb sprite on it functions as the explosion that will kill our enemies. So, for example, if a P-51 touches the second explosion, aka the explosion chain, without the bomb sprite, they'll die because they're touching a specific color on it. So it could be the edges, so like orange here, or the center yellow. So it could be either any of them. This also works, so they both have the same mechanic, just different sprites. And the second bandit, the Bandit V2, aka the Supermarine Spitfire, he's slower, so it's slower than the P-51. So the P-51 is slightly faster than him. Yeah, so they've got speed differences, but they're both still really agile. And sometimes it could get the player killed immediately. Alright, now about the creation of the game. So, why did I make the game? First, it's a project. As it is a project, I have to do it. And after seeing a gameplay shown by my teacher, I thought like, this game has a unique concept. I think I should make it. Alright. Second, why did I choose an aerial combat style / military style? Well, if we look back on my old games, some of them have military related sprites. So I thought, no one uses vehicles as their sprites. What if I was the first one to use them? So eventually I did. And since I've used modern military planes in my older games, I thought maybe I could use a dive bomber. And then eventually, since I used a World War II dive bomber, I thought maybe I should also use a World War II plane for the enemies. So that's how the game was made. Alright, so now let's fly and try the game. So you use WASD to move, and as you can see here, we just instantly died. Like I said before, it's really easy to die here since they're really agile. They're really quick and agile, so as you can see, if it hits you, you kinda die. But of course, if the bomb doesn't hit, I've got another weapon up my sleeve that I haven't mentioned since it's a secret weapon. So, as you know, if we wanna let the bombs away, we gotta press space, right? So, for example, like that. And that's harder since the enemies are really quick on this version. So there's another weapon that could kill them faster. The weapons of mass destruction, the nuke. By pressing the number 7 on your keyboard, it'll release a nuke that's pretty big and capable to kill more than 4 targets at once. So you could kill every bandit at the same time if you're lucky enough, or you could just kill one bandit like I just did with the nuke, even though it's really big. Like I said, they have specific colors that they'll die if they touch. So I think that one, the previous Spitfire and Mustang, or never mind, the previous Spitfires, I think they touched the yellow, so they died. And if you win here, as you can see, you'll see the screen, you've bombed all the bandits, mission complete. And that's how the game works. So I guess that's all from me. I'm incredibly sorry if there's a lot of mistakes during my presentation. And if I said anything wrong, please forgive me. And that's all from me. Whatever's good comes from Allah, and whatever's bad comes from me and Shaitan. That's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.